Sorry. You're not the
I'd be so mad. I'd be like, who do you think you are? Are we wrong? Are we the a-holes?
Maybe.
Maybe, okay. I don't know. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. I'm Dallas.
And I'm Chris.
And for today's video, we are doing something that everybody knows and loves. I am going to be going over some Am I the A-hole stories. And normally I read them off of Reddit, but today I went on TikTok and I found some real life juicy Am I the A-hole stories. A little bit different from what I normally do. I'm going to be putting a video here in between us so you can follow along. And the handles for all the creators that we're watching are going to be on the screen, so make sure you show them some love. Go follow them and check out their content. But I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the video. We'll see you on the other side. Okay. So I am going to be playing the first Am I the A-hole video, and no setting the scene this time. We're just she's going to set the scene for us. So we're just going to jump right into it.
Story time. This is a real life Am I the A-hole? I'm having problems telling because I am neurotypical. So sometimes when I think I'm just being like, no thank you, it's rude. Okay, so this instance, I kind of wanted to be a little rude at the end, but anyways. So, I live in a neighborhood, there's houses, every single friggin' year, guys come around with spray paint, they spray paint our house numbers, and then they come up to the door and they ask for money. If I have cash, I don't mind, whatever, it's not a big deal. They painted our house number last year, and they painted it really nicely, whoever came around, and they usually ask first, the nice ones. So he asked first, and then he had designs. So we live in San Diego, so we got the Padres thing. So it was cool, it was neat looking. These people came, did not ask, spray painted over it, white, and they were like, we did this for you, we asked for donations. The last 2 days they've been knocking on my door randomly. I did not know it was them until today, or excuse me, until last night when I was about to go to work. I was running late, and I hear a knock at the door, and I'm literally already in my garage getting into my car. And then I hear, excuse me, ma'am, and I turn around and I'm like, I'm headed out to work, is this important? And he's like, well, I painted your curb, and we asked for donations. And I was like, did somebody ask you to paint my curb? And he's like, wow, you're gonna be like that? And I was like, ooh, you're one of those guys? And he was like, I'm one of those guys? I was like, bro, I'm on the way to work. And he's like, you don't have just $5? He's like, we asked for 25 bare minimum. He's like, usually people do that. And I was like, did anybody ask you to paint my curb? He said, no. And I said, okay then. Like, what? I don't owe you anything. Also, you painted over my cool curb, which is plain white.
Violation.
I might have been like a little like curt with him, but I wasn't like, am I the ass? No.
No. I don't think you're the That was crazy. So they painted the numbers on the side?
Yeah.
That's what they did?
So I guess in her area she was explaining, and I have to apologize because the video is very low, for us. So it was very hard to hear. So I try not to talk too much during I have a loud mouth, so I didn't want to like keep him from hearing the video. So basically, where the area they live in, she said that people come around and paint, like, I imagine it's like an artsy thing. I'm sure everybody has like a different thing.
Like a house number.
Yeah, but I've seen that before. And maybe it was there, I don't know. So basically, the last year, the guys that did it, because there's different ones, the last year, the guys were really professional. They asked, they were really nice, they did a really good job. She was so happy with it. And this year, they came and they just
painted white.
Yeah, and didn't even ask her. So
it's messed up.
I think it is too. I'm not sure like how that works. I mean, I guess that it's just like a free-for-all if people are just going around. You know what it reminds me of? The people that wash your window without asking. And then they're like, okay, I just washed your window. And you're like, what do I do with that? Yeah. So, and I've seen videos where those people get very, very upset. Yeah. So I more than anything, to be honest with you, I would be so mad if they painted over my curb. I would be so mad. I'd be like, who do you think you are?
And ask for money after? I mean,
yeah, the audacity.
I'm a plumber. We get tipped every once in a while, but that's like me going up, doing a job for somebody and then walking up to them and being like, getting a tip. Yeah, when it's not necessary. Like, it's just like something extra that people do. But, I feel like in a situation like that, this is a learning experience for the person that did it, unless they just don't care and they're just doing it for whatever. Yeah. Obviously, people just give them money, and
I don't know, I guess just don't go around expecting entitlement, right? It just comes down to entitlement. Don't go around expecting people to give you money for something they didn't even ask for. Like, I would be so upset. You are not the a-hole, my dear. You are not the a-hole. And I hope nobody else told you you were. I wish I had the comments for this video.
You don't?
I don't. No, I don't. So, we form our own opinions on this channel. So, okay. Next video.
Am I the for calling the police on my niece and not telling my sister first? I, 24 female, have a sister, 35 female, who has a 16-year-old daughter. Her daughter has started rebelling like teenagers do, but not like most teenagers by being mouthy or just talking back. She's gotten some sticky fingers. Now, for context, she has been in some pretty serious trouble lately. Like, she has been banned from our local mall. She was kicked out of school for stealing a girl's phone. She even tried to pawn her mother her wedding rings. She's got a bit of an issue. I don't like her at my house for this reason, okay? I have worked way too hard for my things for them to be stolen. 2 weeks ago, I noticed the patio door was unlocked, which is weird because I always lock my doors. I talked to my fiance about this, and he suggested we get cameras. So we did. We got cameras. Last week, on Wednesday, me and my fiance had to go look at some wedding venues. And when we got back, I only had to unlock the bottom lock, which was already kind of weird, but whatever. We checked the cameras, and what did we see? My 16-year-old niece had picked the lock to a window, broke into our house with 2 guys, and were literally in our house for hours. So while I'm watching these cameras and seeing everything that my niece and these 2 guys are, you know, doing in our house, I noticed that aside from them eating our snacks and laying all over our couches with their shoes on and, you know, amongst other disrespectful things, I kind of noticed a few other things as we watched further into the security footage that we had captured for the hours that they had been in there, because I sat there and watched it all. Upon further investigating this, we actually realized that my niece had stolen money, 2 of my fiance's Rolexes, my grandmother's wedding ring that my grandmother left for me when she had passed away last year from cancer. Basically just helping themselves to my house while we were gone. Like, literally just acting like they lived there. It was a free-for-all. So, of course,
that's
the first
insane.
thing I did after seeing all this footage is I called my sister immediately. And I told her everything that had happened. Yeah, and I basically told her that she had until Friday to get all of these things back to me, or I would be calling the police. So Thursday comes around and nothing. I have literally not been contacted. I have no updates on when I'm gonna get all my shit back, right? So naturally, like I literally said I was gonna do, I called the police. Mind you, I did not call the police until after Friday. Okay, so just a little update on that. Like, I just want to preface that I gave them the amount of time that I gave them, and when I heard absolutely nothing, I called the police and I filed a report. I showed them the evidence, and what do you know? My sister calls me crying. So now I have my sister calling me, screaming and crying, basically saying I should have told her beforehand, like before I called the police and blah, blah, blah. I literally gave you a warning. Like, I told you what was going to happen if I didn't get my stuff back. And guess what? I didn't get my stuff back. So now I have my mother calling me, telling me that I don't have kids, so I don't understand. And like, personally, I don't think it matters if I have kids or not. And I literally told her, I said, it doesn't matter if I have kids or not. She committed a crime, and I reported it. She literally brought 2 strangers into my house. So naturally, my freaking sister and her husband have been harassing us, blowing us up. I really just want to block them. But my fiance said to keep all the evidence just in case. And they also told us that they were not going to be at our wedding, which, duh, your invitation was revoked when your daughter stole from us and you did nothing about it. So, like, as if that was a jab. Like, we already revoked that. We already took that back. But now, since this whole thing, I have been getting, like, threats from my brother-in-law, okay? So, for context, we have changed the locks since this has happened. I am keeping all of the text messages from my brother-in-law as evidence because
always keep the receipts.
This is weird. And also, we do plan on moving, and I'm not going to be telling literally anybody in my family where I live because I genuinely just don't feel safe with them knowing where I live, since they clearly don't care enough about my niece to, you know, do something about the issue at hand before it progresses. I mean, she's already 16. Like, also, you guys, ever since all of this has happened, I have still not gotten my stuff back. Like, I have been searching on all of the websites like Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace and all that other stuff. I've called around to local pawn shops. Clearly, if she can steal from literally her own mother, her aunt, like people at school, I feel like clearly there's like a bit of an issue going on that is just like not exactly being handled properly. And I just don't understand how I could potentially be the asshole even though I'm getting treated like one. I don't know. Just, I don't know. Personally, I didn't even want to call the cops to begin with. Like, I did not want it to escalate like this, which is why I gave them a few days to return my things beforehand. But, like, I just don't feel like getting taken care. Like, I don't feel like anybody really sees this for what it is. Like, I don't think anybody is taking this as serious as it is, because it's not just like family drama.
Serious.
Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I the for calling the police on my niece?
I think it's a learning lesson for the 16-year-old if the cops are called.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, what do you mean? That the cops definitely needed to be called. Unacceptable. I mean, if she's so young and there's a chance for you to put a stop to that behavior in any way, or even if you can't put a stop to it, just to treat this as, you know, like she needs to get in trouble.
Sorry. You're not the
It's not that, babe. It's a-hole.
You're not the a-hole.
So yeah, you're definitely not the a-hole. You would have been the a-hole in my book if you did not call the cops. And I'm sorry, but when you say to somebody, your daughter took all my stuff, I need it back. It's, you know, especially you're talking like Rolexes. First of all, Rolexes, like what?
Yeah.
That in itself, when you steal something, especially like the total amount of it, if it equals over a certain amount, like it's a felony. You know what I mean? And I can't imagine with what she was describing that was missing that it was anything less than a ridiculous number.
And why wouldn't she call the cops?
Yeah, why wouldn't she? I mean, why would her sister tell her not to? I understand you don't want your daughter to get in trouble, but you're not setting a very good example by enabling. And that's not just for children. It's not for kids. It's not for teenagers. It's for adults too. Enabling is a big problem. And if you just keep enabling her to rebel and steal, and she just has no consequences for it,
Just gotta keep doing it.
yeah, and she sounds like she's running with the wrong crowd. Listen, I am saying this because I certainly wish that I had gotten in trouble a lot more for things that I did, and I never did anything real crazy. I didn't steal anything, but I did drink and I did do a lot of other stuff. So yeah, in that way, I do wish that I had a lot more discipline than I did instead of just running free. But it is what it is, and I turned the situation around, and
Now you're here.
and now I'm here, a better person than I was when I was a teenager. And I believe that there's always room for growth and change, and even she can change, but she will not change if you are not calling the cops on, you know, things like stealing and breaking and entering, and just that's crazy. Breaking and entering is crazy, you know? So yeah, definitely not the a-hole to me, and sounds like Chris agrees.
Am I the here? And yes, I'm filming in a new space. That is part of the story, so I guess buckle in and follow along. This might be a long one, but I need to know if I'm being the here. So for context, a couple weeks ago, my partner had a wedding in Brisbane that he needed to go to. He was in the groom's party. Bonza, if anyone in Australia, they cancelled all their flights. They went into liquidation. Our flights got cancelled, right? So we were going to drive down to Brisbane. Both of our cars aren't the best functionally. They're not the most mechanically sound, so we were going to hire a car to drive down. It was going to cost us about $1,000 hiring through Avis, I'm pretty sure. But I thought to myself, hey, I'm going to ask my housemate, good friend, workmate, and she has a lease car through work. I was like, hey, if you don't mind the caves being on your car and us borrowing your car for 10 days, would you rather the $1,000? Because I'd rather it be in your pocket. And she was like, yeah, fuck yeah, awesome, take the car, like it's a lease car. I don't give a shit about the caves, like I'm happy, yep, like go, sweet, cool. Sorted. We paid her the $1,000 before we left. We borrowed the car for 10 days. We bought it back, and we had a couple of chips in the windscreen and a little scuff on the rim and a tiny little scuff on the boot, right? Nothing crazy damage. The car did drive 3,500 kilometers in that 10 days. It was a big trip. So there was obviously expected to potentially be some damage. We didn't crash the car. We didn't scrape up the car or anything like that. Just a lot of highway driving. So we get back on the Thursday. Now this is like 2 Thursdays ago, like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. We get back on the Thursday about 5 p.m. We'd literally just driven through the night. We left 10 p.m. the night before, and we just drove through. So it was a long drive. And my housemate and her partner were going to night shift that night, so they were leaving at 5:30. So we were just like, hey guys, we're home. We're going to go take the car to O'Brien tomorrow. There's some chips in the windscreen. Don't worry about it. We're going to pay for it. No stress, right? Stress, apparently. So we slept in the Friday morning because we had a big day the day before. So we get up about 9 o'clock. My partner goes downstairs and pretty much immediately gets grilled, attacked, fucking yelled at, literally like yelled at. I was upstairs doing my hair and I was like, why is there yelling downstairs? Why is there yelling? Because we were just going downstairs to get their keys, to take their car to O'Brien, get the quote and book it in to get this windscreen fixed. that turned into, no, you're not taking my car keys. I don't trust you with my car. I don't trust you with anything. And I'm like, well, it's chips in the windscreen. It's really not a big deal. It's a couple of $100, maybe a full windscreen repair if the chips aren't repairable. Like, it's not the end of the world. There was never any question that we were going to pay for it. Like, I lived with her. Don't anymore. New space, obviously. But I lived with her. We worked together. We're good friends. Like, there was no question in my mind that I was going to pay for it. I don't know why she thought that I wasn't going to pay for it. But that turned into, I guess, Friday, there was like no talking, just a lot of anger, a lot of like tension. And then Friday afternoon, we get a message saying, hey, basically we're moving house this weekend. Gracie needs to get out of this house because we're moving houses, we're switching houses. And I was like, cool, thanks for the notice. I'm actually working 12 hours Saturday and Sunday, so I can't move house this weekend. And also, you can't just kick me off the lease. Like, this is my house. I live here. Like, I pay rent here. Like,
in Australia, though.
And you give me 3 days notice to get out of my house? Brother. Thankfully, actually, both of our partners live together, and then me and my housemate live together. So we kind of just did a big old switcheroo and sorted out the real estate. But going from chipped windscreen to get out of my house or get out of your house, you need to move out of the house that you're currently living in by the end of the weekend, seems like a bit of an overreaction to me. And I overreact. I'm an overreactor, but this seems like a lot. But like, I just don't understand how this escalated so quickly. I don't think I'm being the asshole. I don't think I'm missing something here. Like, we borrowed the car, we paid her for the car, we bought it back, chipped the windscreen, yes, but we're paying for all of that. And you still felt the need to kick me out of my house and not talk to me. We haven't spoken in 2 weeks. Someone explain to me. Like, I'm honestly still in a state of confusion. I'm honestly happy now. I'm peaceful now. We've moved over. I'm living with my partner. We're alone. The rent's cheaper over here. So everything is good. But I was just like, it's just been a very, what the f*** kind of 2 weeks. So I've been very absent posting. But honestly, am I the
Part of me thinks that might be a little bit more to the story.
Context is everything. I say it in all of these Am I the A-hole videos. All of them. Whether you're reading it, whether you're watching a video.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
Maybe it was trash on the inside. Maybe there could have been anything. Because I don't see people getting mad that you're paying for damages, you know? Especially for, you know, they borrowed your car, yeah, they paid you $1,000, but they're going to bring it back and pay for the damages. But I kind of feel like that's not what they were mad about. There was something more.
I always say there are 3 sides to every story. There's your side, there's my side, and there's the truth. So I think that if I apply that to this situation, and that's why I think everyone's the a-hole here. So I think if you apply that to this situation, I feel like you can plainly see that obviously information was left out. As far as like a few chips in the windscreen, so she meant like a few chips in the windshield is what I imagine she meant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, windscreen is windshield.
Windscreen, yeah.
Okay.
It could have been like rocks hitting it, making
Yeah,
cracks.
which I get. Like, I know when my best friend moved to Colorado, she actually said that like in the mountains, like there are like a lot of little rocks. So I'm sure
It's a
like
normal thing,
yeah, I'm sure like in where the area she was, I'm sure that was just like it is what it is. However, where I think that she could have been better at this situation was before she even got home, when they noticed the chips, whether it was in the beginning, the middle, or even at the end of the trip. You obviously are driving at the end, even by the end of the trip, you see that there's cracks. She should have picked up the phone. She should have called her friend and said, hey, I'm sending you pictures. I just noticed this. Look at the windshield. I'm so sorry. I will fix this when I get back. I promise. You know what I mean? If she had said that to her friend, or like even like, and even if there was other damages, because we don't know. She made a few chips. To me, if I got a chip in my windshield, I kind of be like, what? You know, because that's never happened to me. So I would be a lot more dramatic about it. However, like for her to say, oh, it was just a few chips in the windscreen, to me, it makes it sound like there was a lot more. She's talking about a scratch on the rim and this and that. I feel like you're right. I feel like they trashed the car and they didn't clean it up before they got home, which if you're tired, fine. But then once again, sending a text message before you get home and your friend sees the car would have gone such a long way, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, I don't know.
I feel like there's more to the story. I feel like there's stuff that's being left out.
No, there definitely is.
But if there's not, then it could be either or. I feel like one person could be the a-hole.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing. Her friend should have taken it into account. So, like, I feel like your friend letting you use the car. I feel like that's on a road trip and you're gone for like what?
10 days.
Yeah, a couple weeks. That's a long trip to let your friend borrow your car. I feel like if you were going to be flipping out about like damages done to your car, which I would have been too, I'm not going to lie, I would have been freaking out too. But if you are like letting your friend borrow, you're putting yourself in that position by letting your friend borrow your car. You should have had a written agreement or something, like any damages done to this car will be fixed. Didn't sound like she was protesting on paying for the damages to get fixed. So I don't think she was the jerk in that aspect, but I think in this situation, everybody's the a-hole. But yeah. I don't know. Like you said, context is everything. A lot of details
included, or
yeah, definitely. So let us know what you think in the comments. Are we wrong? Are we the a-holes? Maybe. Okay. I don't know. That's why I love these videos, because I feel like it's like an outside, like it's a perspective that you don't realize you need until you hear it, you know?
Everybody has their own opinions.
Yeah, but some opinions are really good and some are really mean, and so I don't feel like we're too mean. I feel like we just told it how it was. So that's going to be it for this video. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up, but thank you so much for being in my video and doing this with me.
I'm always here.
I know. He really is, and we love Chris for that. So let us know in the comments what your opinions were, and if you thought they were the a-holes, or if you thought we were the a-holes, let us know. Please click the like button to show us some love on this video, and follow me on all of my social media. I always link it down in the description below, and I have an account for everything. I post daily on TikTok now, so check me out. I also post full YouTube videos every single Wednesday and a ton of YouTube shorts daily in between that. The best way to get notified when we post is to subscribe. Then you can turn on the bell icon and that will notify you every single time. But thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, see you next Wednesday. Okay. Yeah, getting... I can't get it together. Okay. Go on. And okay. Editor, cut all that out. Okay. Ugh. Okay. I have something in my eye. Okay.
Just your hair.
Yeah, it's just my hair. My barber is busy and won't take any of my phone calls to cut my hair, so. What are you gonna do? Get poked in the eye with your bangs.
Editor, cut all that out.
I don't even need to say it anymore. Lord help me. I'm malfunctioning right now. Okay. Sorry. Oh, they don't know what we're coming through. I forgot what I was saying.
To scoot over.
To scoot.
Scoot on over.
The best way. I'm really glad. It's going to be a lot of editing for me. That way you can... What?
How we get all the video updates.
I have no idea what I'm trying to say. I have no idea. Just subscribe, okay? Please subscribe!